Hello, folks. My name is Kevin Douglas Berg. This is What Was I Saying Blog KDB. I'm here to provoke thought and move humanity just a little bit. I do have a playlist. It's called, there's actually two playlists. One playlist involves all Putin's quotes for 20 years leading up to what's happening now. You can hear in his own words what he thought of what was happening at the current time. And you could see the timeline. I think that's 6 videos. The sixth one is a summary just in what I thought as I look at the information and hear information and analyze what is being said and how it's being said, as well as just looking at the history and attitudes of both countries towards each other, which is paranoia, unfortunately. It's paranoia. With that being said, I am interested in, because we are bombing Russia with our missiles. Ukraine doesn't matter. Our missiles are bombing Russia right now. And I thought when it went from a proxy war to a regular war, one-on-one, that we would need a declaration of war. Right? I thought when it goes to proxy to one-on-one with Russia as being a NATO country, we need a declaration of war. But here's the details. The process of declaring war is significant and complex action that involves both legal and political considerations. Historically, a declaration of war has been a formal statement by one nation against the other, indicating the commencement of hostilities. In modern international relations, the concept of declaring the war has evolved, and formal declarations are rare, partly due to the establishment of the United Nations and its efforts to prevent, conflicts between states. I do not mean to almost chuckle at that. Who's the antagonist? Who's the protagonist? Who's the provoker? Who's the one that doesn't want to be provoked? You just provoking thought as we go on. For a declaration of war to be considered, typically 3 key elements must be present: an announcement of intention to take violent action, a justification for this action, and a proposal of conditions that could prevent the escalation to war. I'd really like us to get on that one. These elements not only serve as communication to the opposing nation, but also to the international community, signaling the seriousness of the situation and the potential for conflict. In the context of Ukraine, any decision by a president to declare war would be likely influenced by a combination of factors, including ongoing diplomatic efforts. Oh boy. International law, the geopolitical landscape, and the specific circumstances on the ground. It's important to note that such a decision would also need to align with the country's constitutional processes and legislative requirements for authorizing military action. The situation in Ukraine has been a subject of intense international focus, and any steps towards a formal declaration of war would be scrutinized with the framework of international law and the principles established by the United Nations Charter, particularly those related to self-defense and the prohibition of the use of force. It is crucial to understand that the dynamics of international relations are complex, and the path to war involves many stages of consideration, where diplomacy and negotiation play critical roles in seeking peaceful resolutions to conflicts. The hope is always through dialogue. The hope is always that through dialogue, international cooperation, the need for war can be averted and peaceful solutions can be found. For more detailed information on the historical and legal aspects of war declarations, readers can refer to the comprehensive discussions available in the private references. What the fuck are we doing over there right now? Goosebumps. Our F-15 Strike Eagles are over there. You're Putin. You have expressed and expressed and expressed and expressed and expressed. As you look at, I'm going to include the whole playlist. Don't trap me in. Don't put nuclear weapons on NATO countries that are close to my borders. Don't antagonize me. Don't bother my affairs. NATO. Yeah, we're probably going to put missiles around all your countries, definitely. And we're going to give them F-15 Strike Eagles and our missiles and our defense systems and all the capabilities that come with that. I go back to the question at hand. NATO flies a sortie, one bombing mission. Has a bomb, accidentally falls on a Russian city. Things happen. People get frustrated. People get nervous. In times of war, there are issues where things happen where it was not planned. It did not want to happen, but coincidentally, it is an aftermath or a back shock or whatever you want to call it of conflict. Putin said, and kind of I'll quote, if it comes from a NATO base and it's bombing a Russian city, by accident, not by accident, you gotta think about him. Do you think, I'm gonna swear, do you think it fucking matters if it comes from NATO or it doesn't come from NATO and just Ukraine? It's an F-15 Strike Eagle, folks. It's a missile. It's from the United States. Proxy war is way over. I don't know if you guys knew, but North Korean troops are going to come over there to Russia. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's why he met with Kim Jong-un. Uh-huh. And he's probably going to ship them more nukes. When you play a game such as this, all moves are done on purpose. All moves. Nothing on either side is coincidental, happenstance, can't believe he did that, we didn't mean, none. There's no, we didn't mean, there's no rattle in the cage. We know we're close. World War III, strategical nuclear, EMP attack. If you're Putin, you have asked and asked and asked and asked. Leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone. Get out of my shit, get out of my shit. We're NATO, we can do it. We're NATO, we can do it. Ukraine get with all these other people, and they can fly him in and out during a war pretty quickly, can't they? Are we being played? We know who's rebuilding the whole damn place. BlackRock, Vanguard. Come 2029, they're going to own everything. I'll put that article down there too. I'm going to do a video on what Medvedev said. He wasn't happy. Well, no one's happy with United States in a quote-unquote proxy war bombing a city. I talked about that too. Killed civilians. Terrorist act. What the fuck is really going on? I spoke we have a launch on command policy. What does that mean, Kevin? Launch on command means if our satellites detect exhaust from a missile ignition, Biden has 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Yes or no, Mr. President? Would you like to launch on command? Don't worry, though. One way, if they do, you got nuclear subs on both countries, on both sides, on both coasts. 20 minutes, folks. Another 9 minutes of this video. It's nuclear. It's nuclear. What the fuck are we doing? Protagonists, antagonists, I don't even give a shit anymore. You get to a point where and that's it. Countries of this scale, a man such as Putin, United States government, who's going to back down? NATO's going to back down? Putin's going to back down? Zelensky's going to back down? Zelensky's got all these other countries now too. And we gave them 165 billion or whatever. Who the fuck knows anymore? Who is going to back down in a possible thermonuclear war event? Supposedly, in 2022, Biden intercepted discussions of Putin talking about using strategic nuclear weapons against NATO. Because they're getting their ass handed to them, just like they kind of are now. You open up a strategic nuclear possibility in any battle stage? Are you kidding me? That means at any other conflict between one country to another country, and I don't know what countries all have the nukes, but most of them do, like up to 14,000. Yeah. We've got 1,600, Soviet Union's got 1,700. Intercontinental ballistic missiles, man, they're still pointing at each other. Shit does not go away. I am summing up what I discussed basically in most of those videos. It's all over in 72 minutes. Potentially up to 5 billion people. I'm going to do a video on what Medvedev said. My name's Kevin Douglas Berg. This was our pathway to war. Because it seems like those who are in power want this to happen, unfortunately. Call me conspiracy theorist, whatever. Look at the facts. Is anything on either side being done to take it down a notch? Absolutely not. Yeah, so my car could blow up tomorrow, whatever. I'm going to spit the truth to you. I'm going to spit the truth. We are in the most closest to doomsday than we ever have been. But what about the Cuban Missile Crisis, Kevin? Cuban Missile Crisis, they were talking to each other. Did you see the presidential fucking debate? Yikes! He's got a nuclear football, folks. Yeah, it's not funny anymore, is it? Nope. Who's running their show? Obama? Hillary? Soros? Foreign influences? China? Who the fuck knows anymore, right? My name's Kevin Douglas Berg. This is What Was I Saying blog KDB. This was our ongoing, what's going on, current news, let's do it to it, path to war, because the powers that be want it. And with that, let's pray it out. Pray for you, pray for me, pray for world peace. Pray for those people coming and going. Pray for those on a plane, train, automobile. Pray for those that are serving, have served, post-serving, fighting with PTSD. Pray for those that are in and out of a hospital wanting a better day. Pray for everybody that is a policeman, policewoman, firefighter people, as well as rescue, first responders, anybody in the medical field, all doctors. Pray for you and me and world peace. Pray for tomorrow this world has more empathy. Pray tomorrow we have more compassion than we do today. Pray for those who do not have food, do not have shelter, do not have clothing, do not have the basic necessities to live, that tomorrow is a better day than today, and we can provide those things. Pray for those going to physical, mental, psychological, emotional, any kind of distresses, that tomorrow the distress is lessened and their spirit is less burdened with suffering. My name's Kevin Douglas Berg. This is What Was I Saying blog KDB. I'm here to provoke thought, move humanity just a little bit. Kevin out. Thank you, folks.